Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video, another live stream. Today we are live with the DCTV show episode 121. We're going to have a very special guest joining us very shortly. This is not the usual day that I do live streams. Most of you guys who watch the channel know that we do live streams on Thursdays, but I am actually going away on Friday, so I'm not entirely sure if I can do a Thursday live stream. If I can, I will do it. So I thought I might as well get the live stream kind of done earlier in the week, but also this coincides quite well with the giveaway that we are doing, the raffle that we are holding. Most of you guys know about it. The details are in the description below. Basically, we are doing a DC mystery box raffle. It was supposed to end yesterday, but I am extending it till after this stream. That is when the raffle is going to end once the stream ends. So you'll have until the end of then if you want to do any more entries. Basically, to enter the raffle, it's a DC mystery box raffle. It's basically I've actually got all the items now. It's about like 6 or so items, 5 to 6 items that are all DC related. There's some pop figures, there's some Blu-rays, there's some DVDs, and there's also some other DC merchandise. And it's going to be, this is actually the first one we're doing, and then I'm going to start doing them a little bit more regularly. I don't know when I'm going to do the next one. Probably maybe sometime at the end of March. That could be a good idea. But basically, it's going to end tonight. If you want to enter to win a DC mystery box, and it's going to be roughly worth around £50 or so. So I'm trying to make it worth it for you guys who do enter, because this is all for you, the supporters who help and donate via super chats or via the donation link that obviously we've introduced for this raffle. But basically, every £1 or every $1 is one entry into the giveaway. So you've got until the end of the stream to enter if you want to enter any more. If you've already entered some, of course, I've noted you down from past streams, so no worries about that. But also by clicking the PayPal link, you're going to get double the amount of entries. So if you do £5 or $5, it's going to be 10 entries, right? And super chats is just one, because that's just how the competition goes. But yeah, so I just wanted to introduce that, and we're going to invite our guest to come on pretty soon. But we have quite a few topics to talk about. Some of the topics we've talked about previously in other live streams, but I want my guest to, give some input on it, because I haven't actually talked to him about some of this, because he joined the stream last about 2 weeks ago. So we got a different guest on tonight. But yeah, shout out to Cal, who has sent in the first super chat of the live stream. Cal sends in a 99-cent super chat. I really appreciate it. So that's one more point going towards your name, Cal. I'm going to add that to your raffle points right now. So Cal is on 9 raffle points as of right now. So, you're in for it, but it's very competitive. Obviously, Nathan did an insane super chat last week. So, that's kind of crazy. And I guess the higher you go, obviously it's your choice. And if you want to support the channel, you can do that. The more likely you are to be entered to win, basically, if you get what I'm saying. So shout out to Citizen Tim Scott. He has sent in a $10 super chat. Really appreciate it, Tim. Nice to see you back again on the live stream. Haven't seen you in a while, but you get 10 entries with your super chat. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. I'm going to introduce our guest now for today's live stream. And I'm going to get his thoughts on some topics that we previously talked about, but also I want to kind of go into something that I didn't really discuss in much detail last week. But shout out to Cal and shout out to Tim for the big super chats. I really appreciate it. Okay. Welcome, Mr. Chainsaw. Welcome back. Is he here? Oh, there he is. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Good, man. What's up?
Yeah, great. I'm excited to have you on. When was the last time you came on? 2 weeks ago, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
I think last week, I believe it was just me, actually. So, yeah, good to have you back.
Yes.
How's your week been? Anything interesting, like channel-wise?
No, I mean, the week just started, so who knows?
No, I mean last week.
Well, yeah, I mean, Has Been Hotel. Have you seen that show yet, Amazon?
No, not yet.
Yeah, so that's been fun. That's been fun. my 2 reactions blew up. So I was like, I'll take it. So
How big is blowing up? Like 100K?
over 30,000 each.
30,000. That's really good. Yeah.
Yes, like over 60,000 total. So
That's great.
I'll take it.
Oh, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll
too,
take it. Yeah.
That is great. No,
Yeah.
no, I'm good to. That's really good to hear. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like in the last couple of days, all my content that I do, obviously, you got a bigger breadth of content because you're a reaction channel, but there's not been much DC news in the last few days, right? Like, it's all been, last week there was the Supergirl news, which we're going to talk about today, and then, the week before there was other stuff, and this week's been, well, at least the last few days. I'm not talking about this week. I know this week's literally just started.
Yeah.
In my head, it's like, like it was just Sunday yesterday, so I just say this week. Anyway,
I get. I mean, yeah, because days,
yeah,
days just flowing out.
Yeah, but anyway, let's talk about Supergirl because I didn't get to talk to you about this last week, and there was also something else that was added after the report. So the report last week, which we went over, basically the Supergirl casting is down to 2 actors. Now, you guys in the chat can tell us what's your thoughts on all of this, of course, as we go along, and we'll read them. But I want to get your thoughts. When they said it was down to 2 people, when it was down to Millie Alcock, who I know you're a fan of, and you actually suggested you wanted her as Supergirl. And when me and Declan said that we would prefer Amelia Jones, we'll talk about her in a bit. But there's also Meg Donnelly, who has also tested. So what was your thoughts when you saw that article saying it's down to 2?
That they're taking their time. They're not rushing it, which is good. I'm excited for this. This is good. I think Millie's going to get it, but no telling. Because, I mean, could the report also not be mentioning other people that are still in the running? I mean, there could still be other people. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe they're only privy to just a few names. And, at one point, maybe we're going to find out that maybe someone else is in the running. I know they previously reported Kaylee Spaney was involved, but she's apparently not anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And they literally could have cast her already. We just don't know officially who it is yet.
Yeah, I mean, it could be done already because she's supposed to appear in Superman Legacy. They start filming sometime in March. Don't know the exact date off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But that's pretty soon because we're right at the end of January. We've got a few days left, and then we're into February. And February is not a long month. There's 29 days in February. So Superman.
And I'm wondering, are they testing test suits on both of them?
Probably,
see how they look on screen, and alongside with Devin Cordswell as Superman.
How does that look? Have to have their suits ready.
Yeah,
like for real. Like these suits take a while to make.
Well, I'm just wondering if they're like testing with David standing alongside with Superman, and they're in like test costumes for Supergirl to see how it looks, their chemistry. Yeah, all that. Yeah, I'm assuming they're going really detailed with this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
like they're in the last stages of preparation. Like the last month is just going to be like just fine-tuning everything, getting everything right, and then we should be getting some looks at Superman, Supergirl, and all the millions of characters that are apparently appearing in this film. But apparently some of them are going to have substantial roles more than you would think, but I think Supergirl is more going to be a cameo setting up the future, right?
I would say probably a small role, like a very
at least like 10 minutes maybe.
Maybe
or something. I don't think it's going to be more than that. It's going to be
no
quite minimal. That's just my impression. Anyway, so I agree that I think Millie is the one that makes the most sense out of the 2 left. It makes the most sense because she is probably the biggest actress out of the 2 of them, even though she's not that big. So it's not like they're casting someone super, super well known, but she's known enough that she would attract a different type of audience, which they might like. And
because she already is in house with HBO. So
exactly, it's a big show. So those fans are going to come. They're going to watch Supergirl. Presumably, they're going to watch Superman Legacy as well, just to see her, even if they're not interested in Superman. And also, I have to say, if you've read the comic, you got it right. Andy sent you the comic, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
Well, I sent him it. I've read.
Oh, you sent it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, you read it though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you read it, so it's kind of like Game of Thronesy in a way, and in the terms of like she's like wielding a sword and everything, and she's more like how would you describe the comic?
Darker.
Darker.
Yeah, and I feel like she's already proven she can pull that off because I mean,
And yeah,
her
exactly.
character pulls off some dark stuff in her episodes. So
Yeah, so it's not like it's something completely new for her. I feel like she's already been like set up to do this in a weird
yeah,
way. I don't know if my camera's lagging out. Am I like glitching?
no,
Okay,
not
I'm fine.
glitching.
Yeah, so I feel like she would be a good pick, and I feel like she's the one they're gonna go. But actually, last week Declan said something which I don't know. I want to get your opinion on. What do you think of, because like if you look at the track record of what's gone on, so it was like Nicholas Hoult and it was David Corran Sweat, right? Those were the rumors for the like final two kind of Supermans that they were going for. And they obviously went David. And do you think they're putting like importance on casting someone not as big and someone smaller? Like would you argue Meg is smaller than like what less well known or not?
I would think Meg is probably less well known versus Millie. Millie has like the big House of the Dragon push for her.
Yeah.
Obviously Meg's voiced Supergirl in the Tomorrowverse. Right? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has.
So I couldn't remember if that was Amelia, the other girl. But I think you're right. The difference is though, like Nicholas Hoult, he was a big name from the X-Men franchise, from other things. He's been around for a while. I feel like with this, it's like it's not so much casting a big actress or less well known. It's like trying to find somebody who is less well known versus like some of these other actors they're getting for characters, and then using this to build them up. Because Millie already has at House of Dragon, but she wasn't there the full season. She was there for a couple episodes. But this could really push her into movies, because I don't think she's done a lot of movies, as far as I know, yet. So this could definitely project her. And it doesn't mean that Meg can't get something else down the road for DC if she doesn't get this.
So, it's like a. I think the reason that Millie's probably going to get it is like you were saying, like she's at that perfect stage. She's not too well known. She's not Nicholas Hoult. She's not at that level yet, but she's at a level where people know her, recognize her face, and her playing Supergirl could be like really big for her, but also it could work out for DC, I think.
Yeah, because you don't want to cast gigantic names, because I'm assuming Batman will probably be a bigger name, but don't expect everybody to be on that kind of level, because David Corran Sweat was not a household name till now, because he's now Superman.
Yeah, now people know who he is.
Yeah, now people know. So yeah, I don't feel like that's going to be a big thing. I think Batman's the only exception, unless they literally, if James Gunn tries to go for lesser unknowns in their 30s that are still trying to build their kind of, resume with stuff they've done. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they could go Robert Pattinson style, but I feel like because they've already got that for Batman, they're going to go for someone different.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like Robert Pattinson, that was like a one thing to where he kind of went off the map after Twilight, doing really underground movies, lesser known projects, and now is building himself back up to being in the spotlight. But that was smart because it's not connected to anything else.
Yeah, that was definitely smart. Do you think someone like, when we say Robert Pattinson, like someone like Jacob Elordi pops out to me? Would you say he's too young for that Batman?
Yeah, too young.
Is he too well known at the moment? But he's not that well known.
I think a lot of people recognize him. I think he's too young though. I think because if Damien's in the mix, you need to go mid to late 30s. Not Ben Affleck 40s, but mid to late 30s, I would think.
Yeah, I don't really have like a good prediction for Batman right now. But talking about Batman, James Gunn, like briefly online the other day, talked about how someone asked him, is Batman and Superman Legacy? And he was just like straight up like, no, he's not in my script. That's it. I'm pretty sure Batman's not going to appear until Brave and the Bold, and you're just going to have a big reveal of whoever's playing Batman and then whoever's playing like Damian Wayne. What do you think?
Well, it really depends. When is Brave and the Bold coming out? That's the question. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
If Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is the next film after
Yeah.
Superman Legacy. If Brave and the Bold is next, maybe we see Batman. Like when she, because if this is,
scene.
well, yeah, or like towards the end of the movie where she comes to Earth, maybe she sees her cousin. Because I'm assuming Superman Legacy is when she's already back on Earth, and then we get the flashback to her story in Woman of Tomorrow. So maybe she runs into her cousin, and maybe since we're assuming that a version of the Justice League is formed with all these characters, so the hot girl, Mr. Terrific, that maybe Batman's there. Maybe we have a small scene with her talking with Bruce and Clark.
And introducing Batman for the first time.
Yeah, having a Bruce Wayne Batman, and then there you go. But they don't have to do that. They could just wait till the movie. But it really just depends on scheduling. You know, like when is it coming? So yeah,
we don't know for sure. But like we've been talking about, it seems likely that Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow could be the second film after.
With them casting her now.
Yeah, because she's gonna probably appear in Superman Legacy, but that also there's been hints in like the articles that she's gonna actually play a big role in the DCU. So it's not.
I would assume so.
Yeah, so it's not something that they're just gonna like introduce and like, okay, you know, this is Supergirl. Bye bye, Supergirl. You'll see her in the future. No, you're gonna see her like pretty soon after.
I mean, they're not doing what Marvel's doing, where they're introducing a bunch of characters and you don't know when you're going to see them next. Who knows when you're going to see Shang-Chi next?
Yeah,
it's very different. DC's doing something very like, she has to be important. She's like one of the first characters being introduced in the new continuity.
Yeah, she's going to be very important. Probably a part of the Justice League when they do Justice League eventually. James Gunn's not going to rush into that, guys, but eventually down the line we'll see. Okay, shout out to Alejandro for sending in 49 Mexican dollars. He says that's 3. So shout out to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Willie Jackson has joined as a super friend, as a member of the channel. So big thanks, Willie. Welcome to the club. We're going to be doing a members live stream soon where we're going to all watch Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. And maybe...
Have you seen it yet or no?
No, I haven't seen it, so it's going to be a first time for me. But we're trying to schedule that with the members, so it's going to be fun. I don't know when. Do you know when Part 2 comes out?
No, there was no.
Release date included in the trailer.
I'm assuming it's going to be
summer.
Summer, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll probably do Part 1 first, and then we'll do another one for Part 2. But yeah, shout out to Willie. Shout out to Alejandro. Thanks for supporting the channel. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. So we talked about Emilia Jones briefly, or I mentioned her. And so what do you make of all of this, that she refused to read for the Supergirl role? Is it, her being like our principal, like, some actors are like, oh, look at my resume, you should cast me on that. Or was it that she didn't want the role, or is there like another reason? What do you make of that?
What did exactly what was was there any context to it, or it just says she refused to read?
So it was this guy Jeff Snyder. You know him. I'm sure you've seen some of his reports.
Yeah.
He just basically said in a podcast, like, when the Supergirl casting news was brought up that it was 2 left, he just flat out said, "Oh, she refused to read," but he doesn't know why. So obviously we need to make our assumptions about why, but what do you make of that?
I'm looking at her resume. If it's because she refused, because she's like, you should just hire me.
I don't think she thinks that she's that much of a big actor. Right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If that's what it is, then sit down. Because you do not have the resume to say that. Just because you were in a Oscar-winning movie, Coda doesn't mean anything. Because you weren't the lead. So there's that. If it's because she just refused, like she just didn't want the role, that's fine, right? Because because not everybody wants it, but it's kind of weird. She's in the running, but then she didn't want to. Like, I just don't get that.
Yeah, so I don't think it's as simple as those two reasons.
Alejandro says, pull that comment up from him. He just put.
Okay. There's rumors that she wanted to go to the Sundance Film Festival the same day that she had to read, so Sophie chose the festival.
She chose. Yeah, she chose the festival.
Maybe, but I
I mean,
think
this is a pretty big thing. I mean, I get the whole Sundance Film Festival, but this is a pretty significant role. So
yeah, I feel like it would have been if she got the role, it would have been like big for her career because she's at that similar stage to the other two where she's known by some like a select amount of audience members out there, but she's not known by absolutely everyone. She's not a
yeah,
I don't know, Tom Cruise or
Scarlett
you know,
Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson. She
Yeah,
doesn't command, so I think if the reason was, oh, look at my resume, cast me. I don't think that's true because I
no.
don't think she bigs herself up like that. She seems like a nice person in interviews. So it's probably another reason, maybe the Sundance reason. I know she clearly values independent films, but I don't know if that's big enough to like ignore this big casting
Well,
opportunity.
maybe she felt that she wasn't right for the role, or maybe she felt that she had no shot because maybe she thought maybe bidding on
Hmm.
her people that her publicist or whatever or manager maybe told her, look, I've already heard from inside of Warner Brothers that they're favoring so and so and that you're in the running, but they're favoring. So maybe she's like, well, maybe there's no shot. Why even try?
Yeah,
And
could
that's
be.
fine. And she has a good resume. Like she has a variety of TV and
Yeah,
movie over the years. It's just maybe she thought, you know,
yeah,
and maybe that her priorities, like I said, is independent film or at least focusing on that and not so much trying to get into big blockbuster films. Or maybe her goal is not to do that now. Maybe. I don't know.
maybe. I don't know. We'll have to wait and actually wait. I don't think we're ever going to be told about this, so it doesn't really matter. We
No.
don't have to wait.
Unless she's asked about it. Unless
Yeah.
she's asked, hey, so did you refuse the
So,
role? And so if she admits it, cool. Then we'll know.
fair
But
enough.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's the whole look at my resume, just hire me.
No, I don't think it's
Like
that.
James Gunn's never gonna do that unless he's worked with you before. Because I'm pretty sure he offered Nathan Fillion Guy Gardner. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure whenever he wants to bring in Chris Pratt,
He will bring in Chris Pratt.
he'll just
Zoe
offer him.
Saldana will
Yeah,
come in.
he'll just offer them the roles. Dave Bautista, he'll just offer Dave
Yeah.
Bautista a role. He's not gonna ask him to read. But if you've never worked with him, he's like, no, you gotta read.
Yeah, and I think that's fair enough. Like if
Yeah.
you're a director directing a new film, you want new casts, of course you got to read. That's
Yeah.
just it's
And
normal.
yeah, and the
So
fact
I
is
don't
he has a
I don't
majority of
think
new cast in this movie. He's not just bringing a bunch of people over that he's worked with before, which people claim he's going to do. Like, no, because he's proven in this very first project, a lot of them he's never worked with before.
yeah, and in other projects like Peacemaker and Waller, you're going to see those regulars, right? Which is what we're already used to because we've seen the Suicide Squad, we've seen Peacemaker season 1 already, so we're kind of used to those faces. So it's not going to be as big of a deal, apart from the people who don't like the fact that he's not going hard reboot, which is fair enough. I don't.
Yeah.
I would prefer if he went harder on the reboot, but
Me too.
yeah, I know you
100%.
would. Yeah, me too. But yeah, let's move on to the next topic. So James Gunn, again, online the other day, basically said that, well, he confirmed that Superman Legacy is going to be shot in IMAX when it's released, and obviously released in IMAX. So do you think, off the back of this, that most DCU films will be shot in IMAX, or is it just going to be the select Batman, Superman projects?
Probably select projects. I mean, they might try to go for IMAX because, I mean, I don't think Marvel really went for IMAX except for a couple of things, as far as I
Yeah,
know. So they might. I guess it depends. I think Superman, Supergirl, Batman makes sense. Swamp Thing, I don't think that would really make a difference for IMAX.
yeah,
I think it depends on the project. I think, and
yeah.
I mean IMAX. I mean that really enhances your visuals. I mean, Woman of Tomorrow has some fantastic artwork in
Comic
that
book
book.
artwork.
If they were to pull that off in live action, yeah, you'd want to see that in the best format possible. So, I think it's
Yeah.
smart. I think it's smart.
I think, yeah, if you look at the schedule, you definitely look at Superman Legacy, you look at Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, I guess Batman. I mean, we've
Yeah, I would
seen
say
The
yeah,
Dark
Batman.
Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen Christopher Nolan, how good he utilizes IMAX. So, yeah, I think it's going to be project by project. It's not going to be every project. So, like you said, don't expect Swamp Thing to be, in IMAX or something. I
No.
don't think a project like that, or maybe The Authority, I'm not sure. Could do.
It would depend on how big grand scale the movie is.
Yeah, it depends their budget. Like IMAX is expensive to film on.
Yeah, Swamp
Big.
Thing needs to be like under 100 million, so
Yeah,
they don't
and
need no IMAX.
yeah, if Swamp Thing makes 300 million, hopefully that's a big success. If it's they
If
keep
it's
the
made for
budget
like
down,
75, 100 million, yeah, that's
that would be great.
pretty good.
You
Yeah.
know? So yeah, it's going to be select amounts. But what do you guys think of this? Let us know. What projects in the DCU would you like to be shot on IMAX? Obviously, we're talking about the films here, not the TV shows. But talking of TV shows, there is a new CW show that I want to go over the ratings for. Don't know if you've seen this. And for those of you guys watching, not sure if you've seen it either. But there is this new show on the network, which is like one of the only new shows that they are making. It's Wild Cards with Vanessa Morgan. It's been advertised a lot all over the place. Doesn't look very good, if I'm being completely honest.
Never even heard of this thing. What's it called? Wild Cards?
Wild Cards. It's like one of the only new shows that CW actually produced since
Oh my god!
Nexstar took over.
Okay.
So it's kind of this like mark of like almost like a little bit of a regime shift, just because it's like really low budget, but it has someone that is very familiar to CW audiences. Obviously, Vanessa Morgan was in Riverdale. But we got the ratings for episode 1 and 2, and it's an interesting number. So the premiere, which premiered on the 17th of January, got 495,000 viewers, which is okay, not very good for the CW. It's just like average. But actually, in its second episode, a week later, it increased its audience, which is a 13.54% increase, which is kind of interesting. I know you don't know much about it, but do you make anything of that increase? Like, I don't know. Is it because of the Riverdale?
It might be the Riverdale push. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I have no interest in it, but
No, me too. Yeah.
but I mean, go CW. You got to win. You got an increase on viewership. Yay!
500, but we'll see how it goes.
It's probably going to tank.
Yeah, probably.
It's whatever.
I mean, it's just every single show that Nexstar has released that hasn't been from the old regime has just tanked, and they've had to cancel a bunch of those shows over the last year or so. So it's just interesting that for once they got an increase. But yeah, I guess that's Riverdale effect from Vanessa Morgan. But like we said, not very interested to see what the show is about, because I watched the trailers during like Critics' Choice Awards because it was on the CW. I was like, oh my god, like kept on like the show was like 3 hours, like the Critics' Choice, and
yeah,
I had to watch the trailer about 50 times. And
the same trailer.
Yeah, they kept on doing the same trailer.
That's got to be a shot in the foot. That sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what the CW's up to. So big up CW for getting something slightly to work, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
But let's move on to the next topic. And if you guys want to send in super chats, please be sure to send them in. We'll be sure to answer them throughout the live stream. So let's move on to the next topic. So again, on Threads, like this is, the lack of news we just have to take from what James Gunn is saying.
Yeah.
But he explained why Creature Commandos is the DCU's first release, which I know a lot of us were questioning. Why is it the first release? Is it important? Is it just a project that was already done? Well, he answered a fan and he said, it was written and ready to go, full stop. We thought it worked well as an imperative before the meal of Superman Legacy. So what do you make of Creature Commandos going first? And what do you make of his comments?
I mean, the fact that it's ready to go is a good thing. So might as well put it out. Don't want to hold on to it. I don't expect it to really have a lot of connections to the wider DCU. But we know these characters are probably going to pop up in live action, or some of them will at some point. So it makes sense. But I doubt we're going to have any real connections to the DCU in this. But I could be wrong. They could end the show with setting up something, having a character pop up that will tie into something later on that is significant to the actual DCU. But I think it's an interesting way to start, and it's a James Gunn way to start.
Yeah,
I
it's a
think,
dream.
if you want to be honest. I mean, Superman Legacy is a good start, but no, technically it's this little animated show with some weird characters you've never heard of before, just like Guardians.
Yeah.
So it's all James Gunn.
Yeah,
It's all
it
in.
is a
Yeah.
very James Gunn move. It's like,
Yes.
I guess he started working on this. Like, do you think he was it like right as he got the news that maybe he was the co-head? I
He
don't
might have
know.
been working on it beforehand.
Yeah,
Because I
that
mean, with him making Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad, he might have had other projects he had pitched.
mhm.
So he
Maybe
might
that's
have already pitched this. Yeah.
yeah. And then they were like, "Oh wow, we got so many projects from you. Please take over DC."
Yeah, pretty
They were
much.
like, "Yeah, let's bring Peter Safran on from Shazam and Aquaman and stuff." So yeah, I think it will work well as like he says, an imperative before Superman Legacy, something to get people ready, get people
Yep.
excited. But as you said, it's a very James Gunn way to start things because it's not um it's not traditional. Like you would think Superman's gonna start it. That's gonna be the big thing. Well, it is gonna be the big thing, but it's
Yeah.
just gonna come after this small TV show for like 7 episodes. But yeah, so it was ready, written to go. No, it was written and ready to go, and yeah, so that's just why they went for it. And I think fair enough. I look forward to it. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy in terms of animation. I don't think it's going to be like Spider-Verse, where we get live action cameo from
No.
the DCU characters or something. It's not going to be like that.
Just have Jason Momoa pop up, my man. It's like,
My
like,
man.
okay,
Jason Momoa's Lobo animated.
there you go. That's the way. That's how they confirm he's Lobo in the DCU. Is he possibly an animation first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they don't have to, pay him fully. But yeah, so what do you guys think of this about Creature Commandos coming first? Because yeah, we don't have too much more to go over. Those were really the main bits. So if you guys start commenting any questions or anything you want us to answer, we'll be sure to answer them. I'm gonna scroll back through the chat and read some of you guys' questions and stuff. So Alejandro said, I'm rooting for Meg in regards to Supergirl. Yeah, that's definitely my rooting. Like, that's who I'm going for, but I know you're going for Millie. So fair enough, whoever you want to go for. I just think it would be cool to have an animated Supergirl almost come to life, like as it's not going to be the same version of the character, but it will be some sort of a weird continuation for fans of her. I thought she was good in Legion of Superheroes recently. I haven't watched Crisis yet. We will soon, but
Yeah, Legion was fun. Yeah,
I thought she was pretty good as Supergirl.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, like nothing like, oh my god, she's the best Supergirl. She's going to be insane in live action, but she's pretty good. So,
Yeah.
Lex says rooting for Meg as Supergirl as well.
Everyone's rooting for the other one, not rooting for my Millie.
I guess maybe some of you guys haven't watched the Game of Thrones spin-off, House of Dragon. I feel like you have to watch the show to root for her because most people have only seen her in that, right? So
yeah, for the most part. Let me actually see what else she's done. Let me see.
Yeah, I need to watch it soon because I really like Game of Thrones before. So
yeah, you're really gonna like the show.
Yeah. No problem, Nathan. And no, I have not recovered. Shout out to Nathan. Thanks for the super chats last week. And yeah, we'll be sure to announce the giveaway winner in tomorrow's video. Remember, the giveaway ends after this live stream. So if you want to enter for the DC mystery box, going to announce the winner in tomorrow's video. So shout out to Nathan, everyone else that's been supporting. Superhero films aren't as popular as they used to be. Many actors diminish them. That is quite true. I think we've all got superhero fatigue over the last year. You've seen Marvel and Disney not doing nearly as well as they've traditionally done, which is a surprise. So there is real fatigue. And I think, I don't know if the actors are picking on them. It's more like fans and audiences are a bit tired of them, I feel like.
Yeah, because actors are still getting paid what they're going to get paid.
Yeah, they're going to get paid big amounts to be in them. So,
yeah, and I think James Gunn might turn it around for at least DC wise, because the DCU has been tanking and failing for years. So
yeah, they got to be smarter.
Yeah, So I don't know. I mean, I get the whole point of being it's a gamble because right now there is people like not really caring about superhero
Yeah.
content right now, but what people really want is good stories. They want good
Yeah.
characters. They want to have fun. They want something interesting going on. So I think James can turn it around. He's proven that with the 3 Guardians movies, the Suicide
Yeah.
Squad. He proves he can tell story. I think people are just patiently waiting, and I don't blame actors if they're like, because right now it's not really good right now.
Yeah.
But if you hold out and have hope, because
I'm
look,
sure.
if Superman Legacy crushes it, like not box office wise, but the film is good.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of good faith moving forward for the DCU.
Yeah.
So if it's good, then Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is going to be in a better spot to do better.
Definitely.
So, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But I have confidence Superman Legacy is going to be good quality, and I think we're going to like what we see. Alejandro says, I won't be watching anything from the CW when Superman Lois ends. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
There is nothing of interest at the CW after Superman Lois goes. So,
Nope.
yeah, I don't think we're going to be tuning in. But I'm going to keep an eye on the CW as always until Superman Lois ends. Then I'm not going to ever talk about it again. So, nice. Okay. What else do we have? I think the few characters I think they should bring into the DCU is the Wonder Twins and the Question, ones that haven't been done before. I heard the rumor recently that there was the Question being considered for like a TV show or something.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. I really like the Question. He's
Yeah.
actually one of my most underrated characters that I really appreciate from the comics and the animated shows. I used to love when the Question showed up in was it Justice
Unlimited.
League, the animated series?
Yeah, Unlimited. The single series.
Justice League Unlimited.
He has a small role in Crisis.
Okay. Well,
And if you like the Question, you're going to like what he does in the movie.
Oh, that's very interesting.
But the Question makes sense. It's low budget. That would make sense for DC to greenlight a low budget TV show for the Question. Wonder Twins, obviously, we were going to have a Wonder Twins, but then they axed that. Thank God. So, sure. I mean, I guess Wonder Twins, that would be a James Gunn thing to do, to bring in the Wonder Twins. Yeah. But you also have everything else you're trying to establish, right? Like, you're trying to establish a new Superman, a new Wonder Woman, a new Batman. You got to understand where your focus needs to go. And I don't know if the Warner Twins are the right choice right now. They were setting up Wonder Twins in the Arrowverse, and look how that happened. Gleek the monkey, that went nowhere.
Literally, absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think COVID might have changed that whole thing, but yeah.
Oh, definitely. But, yeah, I could see the Question coming for sure. That's definitely a real thing. He's preparing for shooting Peacemaker Season 2. No, I believe he's still writing it. So he's preparing for Superman Legacy, and he says, I think he'll jump right into production when he ends Superman Legacy. I don't think it's going to be right after Alejandro, just because he's talked about there's going to be another project in between, and Peacemaker is going to come later. So I think he's going to probably take a back seat for, 6 months, and then I could see Peacemaker Season 2 starting. I definitely don't think he's going to start right away after. That's kind of insane as a director, because he's got all these other responsibilities as the head of, or the co-head of DC Studios. Tomorrowverse was rushed. Warner Brothers wanted them to create a shorter universe. What do you think about that?
I don't believe it. I think the regime change and James Gunn and Peter Safran coming in changed what they were planning for the Tomorrowverse. Because they set it up. It's technically, it is. It's a continuation of the New 52 when the reboot happened. So that's what they were doing. Yeah. But, I won't say that. I was going to say something. But they confirmed that in a way. But it's very cool. And you're gonna like it. You go, ooh, because you watch New 52 stuff, right? You're really like.
I watch pretty much every.
Film. So when you watch part 1, you go, yeah. So with that, I think they were. But the regime change happened. They're like, we got to cut this. So, with them cutting it short, it makes sense. Because they're going to be building out new animated stuff. At least we're ending on 3-part Crisis versus just one movie, and just try, because it'd be impossible to do. So it's fine. It's okay. But I mean, you can believe that if you think it was rushed. It was like they weren't planning on wrapping it up now. I can tell you that.
Yeah. So do you think is Crisis going to be the end? The end? Have they confirmed that?
Tomorrowverse is ending. Yeah.
Okay.
It's done.
So it's just going
to. But at least we're getting 3 movies. Because trust me, when you watch part 1, you're going to go, "Thank God this was not the end," because there's no way they could have wrapped it up.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
We'll wait and see until I watch it. But it's going to be a shame. But I guess they're going to focus more on like James Gunn's DCU animated universe,
and probably more Elseworld stuff,
and more Elseworld stuff. Yeah,
and probably just not have anything really
random stories, random.
They wouldn't have another continuity.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a couple of super chats. Cal Roswell sends in $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Cal. Cal says, "Do you think Superman and Lois will come out in the summer or the fall?" What are you saying for this?
Fall. I think I'm gonna do it all at once. No breaks. Just keep going until it's done.
Fair enough.
So, and I think filming ends in April. I think.
Yeah, it does for Superman and Lois.
Yeah, so I would assume probably late summer, early fall, they're gonna have it all done and just put it all out, week to week, no breaks.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
I think it could be either or. I've said summer quite a lot just because I don't know, maybe they just want to get it released because
April, then so June they can start and then have maybe a couple breaks, which that would suck.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I would probably say it's maybe 50-50 right now. Yeah, it makes more sense to wait for fall, but people are dying. So, people are dying to see more content. So I don't know. Will the CW risk delaying Superman and Lois so far that I guess people are always going to come back because it's Superman and Lois, but I don't know who remembers, who even wants to go to CW anymore. So I don't know, maybe it's best to get it over with. But yeah, I'm going to say 50-50 summer or the fall. Thanks for the super chat, Cal. Really appreciate it. Scott sends in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Scott. Scott says Jessica Jones should be in Born Again. Have you heard anything about Jessica showing up in Daredevil?
It was rumored that she's going to pop up. It was also rumored that before, I guess they made a lot of cuts. Obviously, we don't know if this is true.
Yeah.
That Daredevil's involvement in Echo was him trying to find her.
Okay.
And then apparently a lot of stuff was cut. So who knows if that's legit? But that was rumored a while back that that's what he was doing in Echo, is trying to find his friend, and you find out it's Jessica Jones.
Okay.
If she's going to pop up, it's going to be in Born Again.
Yeah,
that's probably a surprise. I don't know, because I feel like now with Marvel, like officially canonizing the Netflix stuff in the MCU, that means Chris Roberto's going to come back.
Yeah,
as Jessica Jones, but I guess it depends. It depends if it fits in the story, because they reworked and tweaked that show. So I don't know.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to that. I liked some of the stuff that they've posted recently, even though it was leaks, but pretty sure they set it up. But yeah, it looks interesting. I love Daredevil. I love that Netflix universe. So I think that's going to be something nice and different for Marvel, for the MCU for now. So looking forward to that. Hopefully Jessica Jones pops up. Okay, let's answer a final few chats. No, we're going to sort out the dates pretty soon. Don't worry, Nathan, we'll do that. Nathan says, yeah, my opinion is watch Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War first, then the Tomorrowverse stuff or Crisis, because you'll be like, oh, they've carried some stuff over. Do you have any,
I mean, I say just watch New 52 and then get to Tomorrowverse. Like, don't rush past all the New 52 isn't like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's
what
pretty
films
solid.
are you talking about New 52 specifically?
I mean, Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War. I mean, I would just say watch that whole entire continuity, then go to Tomorrowverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Fair enough. Okay, we got one more super chat from Scott Edwards. Scott says, "Do you think the new Avengers form in Captain America 4?"
Nope.
Or no?
They already have too many characters in it there, so they don't need no more Avengers.
Who is appearing in Captain America 4? I'm not very up to date.
The Serpent Society's in there. You have the new Ross, who supposedly rumored becomes Red Hulk. You have new Falcon in there. I think Bucky's showing up at some point. There's a lot going on in the movie. Oh, the leader's coming back. The leader's coming back too. So, yeah, you don't want to add a bunch of a bunch of characters to form the Avengers.
Yeah, it's going to be too much. Yeah, it's just one film, so
just wait till Avengers 5, whatever that's going to be.
Yeah, and just introduce them then. I mean, we'll see what Marvel is thinking with all this. Obviously, they've not had a very good year, but they've got all these projects that look interesting, like Captain America 4. Obviously, Daredevil is coming back. And I'm super excited for Daredevil specifically, though. That's definitely what I'm, looking forward to probably the most. We've got another super chat from Man on the Moon Reacts, aka Owl Watch, who changed his name recently. He says, "Chainsaw, would you recommend my advice or
Adventure with Superman? Have you seen it?
Adventures with Superman to Ben? No, I have not watched that.
You have to watch it.
No, I really want to. I love animation, and I just haven't got around to that. That is something I need to watch, and I've got Crisis. So those two.
I would say start Adventure with Superman. They're short episodes, 20-ish minutes each. It's really good.
Okay, I will. How many episodes total?
10.
That's not bad.
And we already have a season 2 confirmed, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it because that's something that's been on my list for a while. I think I started watching the first episode and then I don't know what happened, but it wasn't that I didn't like it. Just didn't get around to watching it all. He says, "Is it a bit slow? Does it have any heavy hitter Superman villains?"
It does. It does have Superman villains in it, but obviously a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it's slow. I would say it does a good job of balancing out Clark and Superman story stuff. So I don't think it's slow. I mean, it's a new Superman story, so you need to not rush it. Yeah. Oh, slow burn. It's a little bit. It's not. I don't think it's a slow burn. It might be for some storylines, but really, I mean, there's always something going on that's interesting.
Okay. Well, I know I like the look of it, so I'll definitely watch it. Appreciate the super chat. I'll watch Man on the Moon Reacts. And thanks for supporting the channel. Of course, that goes towards the giveaway as well. Gary is here. Welcome, Gary, as we sort of end the stream. Shout out to you for joining. Gary sends in a $2 super chat. He says, "How are you been on lunch right now?" So he's on lunch out there in America somewhere. Good. Thanks, Gary. How are you, Chainsaw?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good.
Oh,
just
same
as always, But yeah, thanks for the super chat, Gary. Really appreciate it. If you guys have any final super chats, do it right now because this last 5 minutes. Let's just answer a few last questions we got because everyone's sending in lots of questions right now. Hi Ben, how's your day? My question is, if Dreamer got in the DCU, what movie do you think she will appear in? So this is actually something interesting because Dreamer is becoming big in the comics. Like she's got her own series that's coming out, and then she's also in the Suicide Squad series, I believe, soon. She's getting big in the comics. Nicole is working on that, which is very exciting. But your question is to do with if Dreamer was in the DCU, maybe played by a different actor, or continuing Dreamer, or continuing with Nicole Maines. What movies should you appear in? I guess Supergirl makes the most sense, right? But
I don't know where with the story.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense with the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow story specifically. Yeah. So I think she would have to be in that second chapter of the DCU. I don't see right now where she would specifically fit in. But Do you have
Yeah,
any
and
other
if you put,
theories?
I mean, if you put in the Supergirl, it's just like, oh, you're just retreading what the show did.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, it's not going to be Nicole. James Gunn.
No, it's going to be someone different.
Yeah, well,
Which I think
some
is
people
good
will
for the
say, oh, it's
legacy.
me, Nicole, right? No.
It's going to be good for the legacy of the character because they're building. Nicole has been building her to be something more than just linked to Supergirl in the comics. So I think it would actually be good to have someone else play her and just kind of, have Nicole be in charge of her in the comics and then kind of being like the advisor to Dreamer, and then you would have someone else. So yeah, I would be down for someone else, even though I love Nicole as Dreamer. But yeah, thanks for the question. Really appreciate it. Hot news: Lewis Pullman is Sentry in Thunderbolts.
Saw that. Yep.
Yeah, I saw that too. I like Lewis. He's a good actor. Don't know much about Thunderbolt. You guys know I'm like in and out of Marvel, so I know a lot of characters, but not every character.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess that's pretty big, right?
Well, I mean, we got Sentry. It's confirming Sentry. So, yeah, because he was rumored for a while. It wasn't confirmed till Steven pulled out. Like, oh, okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, because Stephen Young was supposed to play him, so I knew that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gary sends in another super chat.
Don't click it. Don't click it.
Sorry, Gary, can't include it.
I don't understand why Gary asks those kind of questions.
Because it's a classic Gary question. He wants to test: are we mad at him or are we proud of him?
I'm just questioning.
Yes.
Why ask that question as a super chat?
I think the simple answer, Gary, is like any other human being. Okay.
Any other female that gives
any
birth
other
would have
being.
What you're asking for the baby. Yes.
Yes. But I appreciate the support, Gary. Thanks for the super chat, as always. Okay, let's move on to a last couple of questions, which continues. I also have another question. If Dreamer got into another video game like Arkham Asylum, would you play her if she's not locked behind a paywall? Because in Fortnite, she was paid to win. Yeah, why not?
It just depends on what the game it is. Yeah.
I'm actually getting access to the Suicide Squad game tomorrow, so I can report on that. Are you going to play that? Do you play any video games?
I play video games, but I don't know about that. I don't know.
No, I mean, I'm just getting access to it, so I'm going to test it out, see how it is. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like the biggest video gamer. Like, I like, FIFA. I like CS:GO, but that's pretty much it. That's as far as my gaming goes.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Gary says, "Are you mad at me?" No, we're not mad at you, Gary. But thanks for the super chats as always. Yeah, we like those controversial questions, Gary. Sorry we can't pop them up on the stream.
Yeah.
Okay. Kenneth has joined. Welcome, Kenneth. He says, "Hey, Ben and Chainsaw."
Hello.
Nice to see you, Kenneth. He's super excited for the future of Superman and Supergirl. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to be big in the DCU. I'm just hoping that they form a good Justice League when it gets around to it. I hope it's not the basic Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. I want Batman, Superman. I don't necessarily need all the other people. I would like to see different people in this time. So Supergirl, Martian Manhunter would be cool. Green Arrow, big fan of Green Arrow, obviously, from the TV show and from the comics. Yeah, I just want it to be a little bit different. And I think we all are rooting for the DCU to work. I know, some people aren't probably, but
that's true.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, that pretty much does it for the live stream, guys. Going to end it here. Thank you all for joining in, and shout out to everyone that has been commenting throughout the live stream, supporting. I really appreciate it. Going to announce the winner of our DC Mystery Box giveaway in tomorrow's video. So after the end of this live stream, it's going to be closed. So yeah, thank you for all the support, and shout out to Chainsaw. Go check out his channel. Obviously, you can see all the reactions, not just DC, not just Marvel, all the other stuff that he's interested in. So yeah, go check out his channel. I'm going to leave the link in the description below after the stream. But yeah, for now, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.